Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome to episode 22 of the 2021 Duels. I am Deltheus, how's it going everybody? Episode 4 of the Fall Open. So we got a nice docket today. Got a lot of games to get through, so this should be pretty fun. We are going to start things off on stage 1. We'll follow floor. That's typically how I like to do it. I think it's pretty fun to kind of pick a character, or a player, a character. Pick a person, and then, you know, go through as many stages as we got for them. So we'll do floor stage 1, stage 2 next. I don't think we have a stage 3. And last episode, by the way, this is episode 4 of the 2021 Fall Open. Maybe I should put, like, right here, episode 4? I don't know. There's, like, 2 different ways we're tracking episodes, you know, like total episodes for the year and then also episode number for the season. How about like this? Fall. Oh, what about that? Okay, yeah, I think that looks fine. Alrighty. So yeah, we are gonna get into it, and yeah, I think I'm all set. I hope everybody's doing good. I am swell. Gonna get into some Project Zomboid today with old Wifeus. They just put out a new multiplayer patch for it, so pretty exciting. And yeah, gonna have some fun games today. Oh yeah, and I also want to show just briefly as we kind of start a new stage for anybody kind of following along, not super familiar with the rules. So this is one of the Gentlemen's Crazy tournaments. And we do have a lot of crazy rules. So stage 1 is pretty straightforward. There's 3 different decks you can choose from that have 4 units each. And that's about it. Plentiful Campfire, so each player has to pick one of these decks. We've mostly seen the Cam deck so far. I think the Snake deck's pretty cool too. Love the Ferret deck. I think it was Tatanka we saw last time I casted. Really utilized that to a lot of fun. So would really like to see the Ferret deck a little more often. I think it's actually very, very powerful. If you can really get set up with the barbed wire and the balloons, it can be very difficult for the opponent to kind of break through there. So let's see what our players decide to choose. And yeah, let's get into it. Everything should be good. Let me know in the chat if anything's wonky, but I think I'm alright. Played softball. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool and pretty hard, yeah, for sure. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I got into a YouTuber called Ambiguous Amphibian, and his videos kind of got me to try it out. But anyways, let's get into it. Stage number 1, floor versus rush. Let's go. Okay, spawning in the bottom left, we've got floor, decided to go with the snake deck, and up top, rush, also with the snake deck. Okay, so I mean, Snake is kind of everyone's favorite unit. You love it or you hate it, right? One of the strongest units in Tooth and Tail in this patch. But I think what's might be even better here is just the turrets. I mean, MGs can really make a big difference in a pinch. I do like that you have the moles as well. If the opponent does try to get a little too crazy with the MGs, the moles can kind of help you smash in there. Not as popular as they used to be. The moles. The moles is probably the most dynamic unit in Tooth and Tail. What do you think, Jen? I don't know if I want to open this can of worms, but something to talk about while we're getting going. I mean, I feel like the mole has probably changed and defined metas more than like almost any other unit. So Rush coming on here with a rush. Floor will scout it, but Floor did open 8 farms. He thought he was okay. So let's see if Rush can manage to get a squirrel across the map. Pretty defendable spot, though. I think Floor is fine. Even if Rush really committed to this, throw down a quick MG. And should be good to go. So yeah, the mole has changed a ton. And speaking of moles, Rush is going all in with this. Okay. Gonna throw down a mole warren here on the front, try to smash this warren down, but already gets a squirrel out. Yeah, Rush is going to have to head home with his tail between his legs, unfortunately. I mean, losing some good food there. I think he lost 32 food on selling that mole warren. And I don't know, is Rush going to keep committing to this? I mean, I already feel like Floor's got a nice little lead here in the early game from the bit of back and forth. So we'll see what happens. Floor kind of getting a little paranoid over here, moving his squirrels around, looking for some more moles or something, some more dirty play. But Rush starting to move forward, got 3 Warrens. So curious to see if Rush is going to throw down Warrens 4 and 5 and really commit to this. I mean, Floor is trying to power up, but I think Floor has plenty of units, and this is also a really awkward path to try to attack into. Yeah, that was dominated there by Floor. One thing about bridges like this, the units typically try not to get their feet wet, and they try to stay on the bridge, right? So what ends up happening there is you're kind of clumping your units up in a single file line where generally you want concave units or more of a perpendicular line, I suppose, to the angle of attack. That way everything can shoot at once. So there's just a million reasons right there where trying to push into Rush was very difficult. Or I'm sorry, to push into Floor. But speaking of Floor, I like this move, just the faux move out with the squirrels, you know. Maybe make Rush get a bit paranoid. Rush does know that Floor is macroing up here, and Floor really on a ton of units at the moment, so they don't really. I think all the decks have squirrels. Well, I guess Floor knows that Rush is playing the same deck, right? Because he saw the moles, and Rush has seen the turrets from Floor. Okay, so yeah, both players, if they're really paying attention, should realize that they have mirror decks here. Yeah, I mean, I think Floor is just going to crush through stage 1. I think Rush kind of had a series of unfortunate events there in the early game. You know, kind of fumble after fumble, trying to put on some pressure, and this is probably it. I mean, Rush is going to hang out. Rush is pretty notorious, I guess, would be the word, for staying in games super long, but hey, that's there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there were a million back in the day, for any old school TNT fans. I mean, Chip from Space was kind of really well known for staying in games super long and then coming up with some crazy comebacks. But Floor here looks like he's getting ready for the kill. I don't want to overhype this. We might just do a little fast forward. I mean, let's see what Rush has got. But he's down in so many different ways. I mean, he's down in eco, he's down in army. And the world is kind of Floor's oyster at this point. I mean, look at this. Yeah, he can just run around, take all the mills on the map. He can afford to do this. Mostly just, you know, obviously keep powering up if he chooses to, but also just know if Rush tries to make a sneaky expansion somewhere. Yeah, and I like this style from Floor too. You know, in this snake mirror here in stage 1. Going pure squirrels, I mean, seems to make a lot of sense. Generally, the snakes, although they are one of the best units in the game, their weakness is tier 1. They're not the best unit at dealing with tier 1, so it doesn't really seem necessary to add snakes in, because more squirrels, less problems. And here we go, Floor coming in for the kill. That is going to be all she wrote. Look at Rush, man, never surrenders. Gotta go for the kill. But you know what? I kind of respect Rush for it because it is super satisfying to get that actual kill, you know, rather than the tap out. So cool. Floor smashing it through stage 1. We'll head into stage 2 with Floor here. And let me update this. I believe it's Goris, right? This is, okay, so this is the crazy stage. This is probably my favorite so far, but we haven't gotten... At least I don't think I've seen more than stage 3 live yet. So let's head over to stage 2. Just again, I don't want to do this between every game, but I think the first time we go to a stage, it warrants kind of going over the rules. So stage 2 is really weird because there's an alternate win condition. If you reach 1,000 floating food, you just win the game. No questions asked. Just GG. You surrender, you got it. It's also an extra large map, and you cannot sell. Also, both players get to choose a unit to ban. I'm not sure what the bans were for this, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Goris banned owls, because he always does. And yeah, so that's it. So this one's actually been a lot of fun. I really like the concept. I think it needs a little tweaking for next season. Just because I think we've kind of figured out, like, on 16 farms, you can get to that 1,000 floating food very, very quickly. So let's see what ends up happening. Floor killing it on match 1. Let's see if he can continue on. You know, holding on to all your lives this early in the event is very, very important. So far, so good for Floor. Let's see if he can get through Goris without dropping a life. QQ stage is crazy fun, says Eel. Yeah, I know. I can't wait for QQ stage. Do we have that today? I think that's stage 4. We actually might be going over some QQs today. Over on the right-hand side, we got Goris. And up top, we have Floor. Don't know who's banned. Maybe Floor banned the moles. Because since you can't sell, we saw Meek. We saw Meek execute it perfectly, and then I think we saw a few players like try to do it and kind of screw up because it's a double-edged sword, you know. Like if you do so, the reason moles are so strong on this is because generally how it works is, you know, I throw down a mole warren back here, then if I force you to sell your farms, and then I sell the warren and I go home. But if you can't sell your farms, that mole can just get in and ruin the game. But at the same time, if you don't pull it off exactly right, then you can't sell the mole warren. You can't pack it up and go home either, right? So it can get pretty crazy. And as Sasha very smartly pointed out last cast, it's like if someone does that to you, they can't sell that warren. Like, don't kill the warren. Just farm those moles coming out of it. But nothing crazy yet. A little bit of an early lizard warren from Floor. Goris handled it appropriately. Should be fine. I don't think Floor's quite got the window. Yeah, he's gonna look around and decide against it. Smart. It was very tempting. It seemed like, oh, just maybe, but good job from Goris there, throwing down that lizard just fast enough. So let's see how it goes. I mean, sometimes in these crazy stages, people just ignore the alternate win condition, right? Which is an option here. I mean, you could just play a straight-up game in Tooth and Tail. But generally, what I'm looking for is if there is going to be taken a second base. Because that's kind of the idea. I think we mathed it out, and the math is a little bit fuzzy. But just generally, if you're on 2 bases, if you're on 16 farms, you can get to that 1,000 floating food in like a minute. Roughly. But so far, just lots and lots of tier 1. We're stuck in what I like to call tier 1 chicken. But Goris is going to take this expo. And I think it really behooves you, if you're a challenger in this event, to like play your matches as fast as you can. Because the longer you wait, the more practice the boss gets for their specific rules, right? Like, Goris has done this a million times now. And yeah, Floor does have the option to like find a practice partner and try to emulate the stage. But generally speaking, you know, the later the event goes on, the more and more practice the boss is going to have with the specific rules, and that's going to give them an advantage. So Goris kind of knows how to play this one out now. Goris already ahead on the farms, just a little bit. I'm always so... this stage is always so tense for me. Moose of the chat, how long have you been casting? I just started this stream today. If you're asking in general, I've been casting Tooth and Tail since like it launched in 2017, pretty much. On and off, you know. I just do it for fun, do it casually, you know. Just enjoy casting. Okay, Goris does have a good mix of Squizzard. Floor does as well, though. Pretty close stuff here. Floor is gonna mix into Skunks. I think you really want to get up to 4 if possible. But 2 is good as well if you can get the right connections. Generally, Squizzard does have the opportunity to just kind of run over Skunks sometimes, though. And here we go, Goris moving in. Let's see what kind of trades we're getting. I think Goris walked into this with a bit more army. And I think Floor should be fine with the reinforcements. Yeah, okay, so nice trade. But that also does reset that food clock for both players. You know, now food is going to have to go back into building up your army again. And also keep in mind, like, the food win condition is pretty cute, but the bigger part of this is the no sell. Like, selling is such a fundamental mechanic of Tooth and Tail. And without it, you are very hamstringed. You have to be very careful. Like Goris right now, you know, if he starts committing to any more tier 1 Warrens, it's going to be really difficult to ever get out of tier 2 or a tier 3. So actually super, super close game. Very, very similar at the moment. Maybe Floor has a slight advantage. Does have a bit more tech out. I think that, yeah, I was going to say, I feel like that trade was pretty close for both players. You look at the army graph, it was very, very close. So I don't think anyone's kind of got a big advantage from that first fight. But here we go. Floor's going to move out. He's got a nice Squizzard comp backed up by Skunks here. Oh, right on, Moose. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's really cool to hear from people that have kind of been watching for years, you know, on and off. It's fun. The little thing here. Oh, and the lizards get on top of the skunks, knock them out, and yeah, that can generally happen with Squizzard, but Floor has a lot of squirrels backing up here. I'd love to see him try to target down that extra skunk, or snake rather, but no, goes for a pig. Actually gets 2 pigs there. Not too bad. Pretty similar trades. Yeah, I'm digging this for Fleur. Fleur's even on full 2 base. I mean, it's not quite 16 farms anymore because we're well past that 5-minute mark. But I wonder if Fleur is just going to kind of hunker down and go for it. Ooh, died of poison. Feels bad. I don't know. Fleur's got 4 hundo. Goris is coming in for the attack, and this is a good way to prevent your opponent from getting to that 1,000 food, because, you know, obviously attacking, then you're forcing them to remake units, and Tooth and Tail unit production's automatic, so you don't have a choice about it. And this engagement not going too bad here for Goris, keeping all his tier 2 alive, that's the important stuff, but now that's starting to fall, another big trade. And these trades have been just so even, it feels like. Maybe that was a little bit worse for Goris there, because he did lose a lot of tier 2. Yeah, you look at the army value graph, that one was a bit worse. And also Goris's economy is not quite as strong as Floor's. But there's just been so much back and forth punching this game. Are we going to see that dreaded 1,000 food? Floor seems to be trying to go for it. 300 food in the tank already. Done paying for their units. But no, Floor's just going to go for the throat. Okay. I think Floor's playing a little wishy-washy here, right? Like, if you're going to go for the throat, you might as well spend that money on more units. Unless he's, like, just faking it to try to get Goris to respond. Let's see. No, Floor is going to move in. Wants to target that skunk down with his lizards if he can. Good gas connections here for Floor. And yeah, this might be enough damage. Oh, nope. It's so clutch. Keep those skunks alive. Oh, Floor, you're braver than I am. I would have ran away with those skunks. Alright, getting more damage, though, is the issue, you know. Killed another couple pigs there, and Goris really can't afford it. And again, you know, not being able to sell stuff just makes us go from bad to worse. Oh, that's actually really smart from Floor to kind of tank that money rather than building more Warrens. And as I say that, of course, he does build more Warrens, but that way you actually have the funds to kind of remake your army. That makes sense why he's floating up to 300 food earlier. Okay. And yeah, I mean, Floor is in the driver's seat here. Floor's coming in for the killing blow. Goris knows it and taps out. Floor rocking it, going right up to boss number 3, not losing any lives. Really good job there from Floor. Okay, Lupus. I think we just have a Lupus stage 1. Oh, wow, we have a stage 5 today. Really cool. Okay. So, Lupus just has a stage 1 here, so we'll go ahead and cover that. So let me go ahead and update the scoreboard Aroni. I used to have this program called, like, Scoreboard Assistant or something, and it was really convenient, but it just kind of stopped working. Maybe I was too forehead to figure it out, but I don't know. It's not so hard to update things, though, in OBS. Alright, Lupus going up against Rush. Lupus is an older player, too, you know. I remember their name from quite a while ago. So again, stage 1, you get to choose between 1 of 3 decks. should be plentiful campfires on the map, and that's about it. So on the bottom left, we've got Rush. Up top, in the right, we've got Lupus. And Lupus is rocking the Ferret deck, and this is a very good map for it. If Lupus takes this base right here, it can very easily start setting up a nice siege, get some balloons in. Even adds this gristmill here, you know, to really, really seal the deal later on. This map is very, like, choke pointy, isn't it? I mean, it just seems like one big road of gristmills right between each other's bases. It's kind of cool in a way. It's almost symmetrical. I really love the random map RNG in Tooth and Tail. I think it's one of the things that really keeps the game super fresh. That and the occasional balance patches, which we do have one being cooked up by Eel at the moment. I think people are always excited for that. I always like it just because it's a good way to change things up, you know. Even if we're in a meta where something's not necessarily super OP or broken, it's still fun to be like, hey, you know, Toads haven't been part of the game for 6 months or so. Let's jack Toads up and, you know, make them part of the meta, change things up. I actually really like Toad metas. I don't know if that's a bold take, but I think the Toad is one of the units that allows for a lot of really cool micro. Watching like old school guys like Mishi really dance around Toads with lizards, you know, and take fights, losing like no lizards that most players would lose all their lizards on is really cool to me. Alright, we got some ferrets up from Lupus. This looks like a really old school build to me, back when ferrets were popular in like early 2018. 8 farm into a double tier 1, into ferrets, into some more tier 1. I'd imagine Lupus, the next steps for Lupus would probably be to try to take a forward mill, throw down a balloon. But Rush is playing the ego game so far. And Rush doesn't really need to respect the ferrets that much. Like, he doesn't need to get his own tier 2. He is getting the cams, but just having a lot of squirrels against ferrets can work pretty nicely too. So Lupus is going to move out. Start trying to get some shells with these ferrets here. No backup. And gonna trade with these squirrels. And yeah, if Rush had not committed to the cams, he would have more squirrels right now, clean this up, and then start chasing the ferret back. But the cams will also be very good once they get out and about. Lupus, a bit ahead on the tech, though. Does get the tier 2 out a lot faster. Might get a pig here. No, the pig shuffle worked very well for Rush there. Ooh, I think that cam just took some shells, yeah. Took one at least. There we go. Chameleon getting on top of the ferrets. Lupus, run away! Oh my god! One goes down. Okay, does have this forward mill here, but losing that ferret is going to delay the first balloon by a good bit. Now, when everything's said and done, I mean, I think Rush might have been a bit ahead there. The first attack went a bit better for Lupus, but the second attack, Rush killed a ferret without losing any cams. Losing a pig here, though, that does hurt. Rush has had the second base farms up a little bit faster, though. Alright, more cams coming in the front, gonna try to chase these ferrets down. This is where the balloon would really, really help for Lupus. I know Lupus is aware of this, just can't afford it at the moment. But the balloon would stop the cam from being able to chase so far back. Then again, if Rush does have enough squirrels, squirrels can take down the balloon pretty quickly if it's not well defended. Alright, let's see what Lupus is gonna get in here with. Just hanging out for the moment. This is where it can get scary, though. I feel like Lupus is really... how do I put this? Like, Lupus is a bit of the underdog in this matchup with Army Comp. Like, Lupus really needs to make something happen, needs to get some good balloons up. Because eventually, when Rush is allowed to build more and more chameleons, I mean, they're just going to scale so well. And the ferrets are not very, very good in direct engagements, but here we go. Another big fight coming in. Rush moving forward. Does have the Pigeons helping to heal on the back line. And the balloon is gonna get denied. Oh, big victory there for Rush. Yeah, Lupus couldn't quite get that balloon up. Most of the cams went down, which is nice for Lupus, but yeah, look at that trade for Rush. Lupus in a very, very tough spot. And I think that's what's hard about this deck that Lupus chose. Is that the Ferret's not as strong in a direct combat than the Chameleon or the Snake. So it takes a little bit more finesse. You know, you gotta really play the positional game with the deck that Lupus is piloting here. Get up the wire correctly, get up the balloons correctly. And I think Rush is just too far ahead now, especially after denying that expansion. Lots and lots of farms went down there. We're past the 5-minute mark. The main base is slowly gonna farm out. Yeah, Lupus has got to ditch the Ferrets, go to pure Squirrel here, and kind of hunker down and hope that they can survive. Now, I mean, Lupus could turtle up with some balloons and try to claw their way back into this game. But just the income investment that would require, I mean, I think you would really need like 2 or 3 balloons to defend both these bases well. And Lupus has to spend money on just building more farms. I mean, Rush is way ahead right now. Got that second base up and running. Lupus just going to go for a bit of a sneaky attack, but kind of pokes his commander's head up a little bit too far forward. Yeah, Lupus is starving now. This is not good. Okay, gets the next farms going, but this attack from Rush should be enough. I think Rush is considering waiting on the next cams to come out, but he's got plenty. Tank Mill being set up a little bit too early. Nice small victory there from Lupus, but gonna need a lot more of those to get back into this. Rush is just waiting. Yeah, I guess gonna get a couple more cams here. But Rush can generally kind of come in and end this whenever. I like Lupus's tenacity, you know, never say die. And that's one thing about Tooth and Tail, you know, I mean, if your opponent is giving you this kind of leeway, you definitely can come back. There are ways to claw back into the game. Like, the longer Rush waits, the more of an opportunity Lupus has to build up just enough to kind of take the right fight at the right angle with the right balloon support, the stars aligning. But here we go. Rush just said enough is enough. Gonna come in here and try to end this one out. Again, Lupus being really tenacious. Gonna go for the counterattack. I think it makes sense. Actually, you know, if he confuses Rush here, he does have the campfire, so he's not eliminated from the game. Rush has got to find that campfire. And Lupus is gonna come home. Oh my gosh, do the squirrels have enough DPS? I don't think they do. They're gonna kill the one, but he's gotta kill this one too. Oh man, Lupus. Oh, good decision by Rush to just clean this up rather than look for that last pesky structure on the map from Lupus. But really nice try, you know. I respect Lupus for that move. Tip of the hat. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a long shot to begin with, and Rush made the right decision by coming on back home. Because if he didn't, you know, Lupus's swirls would have taken out that mill. Not very quickly, but fast enough. And this game is pretty much over at this point. I think that was Lupus's last-ditch effort. But, you know, it is a tournament game, although it's not super competitive tournament, so people stay in a little bit longer. There it is. Lupus taps out. But they are not defeated. They do have 4 lives, and you can only lose 2 lives per stage. So if Lupus loses this next one, he moves on either way. So yeah, we're going to have a rematch here. Let's see if Lupus can pull it off this time. Maybe going to change up decks, or maybe fortify that ferret strategy a little bit. Let's see. Lupus is going to stay with the same ferret deck over on the right-hand side. Over on the left, we've got Rush, also keeping the cam deck. Okay, nice big winter map here. Kind of awkward expansion for Lupus, but oh, I guess not. Getting up here on the double high ground. Actually, this is really nice for Lupus, the more that I'm thinking about it. It's going to be very awkward to try to attack into this angle. And Rush's expansions up here on the high ground have some really awkward ramping. I guess there is this one little ramp we saw Bellified just run down. But, you know, you can't quickly go from, like, here to try to defend this. So yeah, a bit of a clunky map, but overall I think I like it better for Lupus. I mean, it's always it's always hard to argue with the high ground, especially with some nice chokes here. And if Lupus can secure this area, you know, start throwing down some wire and balloons right here, he's in a great spot to not only defend his base with defense, but also apply pressure to the opponent's expansions with defense, which is the ideal situation. There is always the possibility, though, that if Lupus does get really entrenched right here, that Rush can just say, you know, screw all this nonsense and go around the long way. But Lupus opening with a very, very fast Ferret. I do like this. I think that Ferrets are one of those units, you know, when you can get them out very early, it's great. However, I have seen it, I think I've seen Ferrets work the most in competitive play when they're not your first tier 2, right? So get out your skunk or your cam or whatever you need to have like a proper fighting tier 2, and then add in those Ferrets a little bit later. I would love to see Lupus be a lot more aggressive about getting a balloon down in a good spot in this game. I think that's where they messed up last time. Tries to do the squirrel dance here to prevent one from dying, but one does go down. You know, I don't think with the Ferrets you want to be pushing in immediately. I think you want to hold on and get down a balloon. Like, right now, I don't think Lupus should move in. I think you should just try to get the balloon. That cam is in a pretty, that Warren is in a pretty tempting spot, though. Gonna take the engagement. Good targeting from Rush. Gonna kill this Ferret. But hey, I mean, look at this. Since Rush did target that Ferret, it tanked quite a bit in that fight. All these squirrels are still together. Lupus actually has a lot of momentum here. Needs to be careful not to overextend. Having this high ground up here is great as well. I'd love to see Lupus just kind of take that pig on that expansion and get out of here. But no, Lupus smells blood in the water. Really, really trying to push this issue. I think he's okay as long as he gets home with this Ferret alive. You can see with a little bit of dancing, it can be hard in small engagements like this for the Ferrets to actually land their shots. Ferrets are best utilized to poke from afar. And hey, Lupus, you know, he's got the Gristmill up here. He's got enough food. Throw down that balloon. Oh, throw that balloon down, Lupus. Do it. Do it. Oh, and a little bit of barbed wire on the low ground. Oh, Lupus is just going for the squirrels, unfortunately. No balloon. Squirrel's probably the better play. Don't really need the balloon, to be fair. Just need more units. And look at this. I mean, I was a little bit skeptical of Lupus, you know, going so all in with these early Ferrets, but it worked. And I think this really awkward second base positioning for Rush had a lot to do with it. A bit of an unfortunate spot for Rush, but Rush is the villain here. Lupus is our hero, our challenger. So it looks like Lupus will advance on to the next stage. Dropping one life, but, you know, not the best, not the worst. Seems alright. Okay, nicely done. So I think that's it for Lupus. Okay. So what are we doing next? We have one more stage 1. Studios. I have not heard of Studios. Perhaps a newer player. Perhaps somebody using a Smurf name. Okay. Let's get into this. Another Rush match here. Right-hand side, we've got Rush, and left-hand side, Unprecedented Studios. Unprecedented Studios making an unprecedented appearance in the TNT scene. Ooh. No, I think I've seen them around in Twitch. But I have not seen them play yet, so really cool they decided to hop on to this event. The events are the most fun part of Tooth and Tail, I think. It's always a good way to get the players out of the woodwork, come out, join up for a tournament. Alright, and the studio is open with the Fine Farm Warren. Rush will see it and respond appropriately. Should kind of be a no harm, no foul situation. And yeah, we're just going to have to wait a little bit, let this one brew. See where the players want to go with it. Both natural bases are pretty far forward. I think Rush also has the option of coming up here, snagging that real estate. And I guess Studios could take this as a natural if they wanted. Would that cabin shoot a pig? I think it would. Lots of Warrens coming out here for Unprecedented Studios. Rush responding pretty appropriately, though. I like how Rush kind of juggled Warren and farm production. Got up to the 8 farms pretty quickly. Now gonna get that last Warren in, so... Rush will take a little bit of a build order win here in the early game, as I don't think Studios here has really an opportunity to push in and try to kill a pig. Maybe, though. Maybe if they're sneaky, kind of come up here on this high ground. Rush isn't seeing it. Bam, kill a pig or two, run away. Let's see what Studios decides to go for. We're going to get the cam. And Rush will take the more bold expansion choice here. Ooh, gonna sell it, though, as he sees the squirrels moving out. Wants to hunker down a bit. On this high ground, Studios needs to be careful not to lose the commander. The commander does go down. Is Rush gonna capitalize? Okay, there it goes. Maybe Rush didn't see the units for a second there. But generally, even with even numbers, if you've got your commander up and they get to target fire, you can take a little bit more of an effective trade. Alright, so Rush gonna grab that expansion. Ooh, Studios with an arty cannon. I wish it was a little more far forward, but I'm hyped to see it nonetheless. It's a very safe position, because this way Rush can't snipe it, but, you know, if you put one, like, right there, that would have been really, really good. Protect both bases. Rush will see the cannon now. And, I don't think there's anything Rush can do about it. Doesn't have enough units above Studios to kind of come in here and try to deny this. So yeah, Studios will get their cannon up. And gonna get into more and more cams. Meanwhile, Rush is playing a little bit more standard. You know, focusing on getting the farms up on the second base. Nice scouting from Rush here as well. Does identify the natural position from Studios. The Studio's gonna go for another arty to defend the natural. Oh, please, yes. Do it. Get the arty and then, like, sell off all your squirrels. And just go right up to 16 farms. Okay, does go for another arty. Oh, jeez. I don't think the placement is as good, but, you know, I always underestimate the range on these cannons. But I think Rush is a astute enough player, though, to take his force around this way. I think that would be out of the range. But I do think this cannon will cover this front here. You know, I was thinking about putting it more in this tree line, but that's not a bad position either, really. It's going to be harder for Rush to actually get in. This is kind of cool. I'm just excited to see artillery cannon down. Yeah, and the correct move from here is to eco up. I think both sides just really need to eco up. Rush can eco up knowing that Studios invested so much money in defense, they're not going to be able to attack. And Studios needs to, I think, even sell off I would sell off like a Warren or two just to get up to 18 farms very quickly. Or 16 rather. So looks like we might have a long boy on our hands here. If studios can actually start creeping out more and more cannons, this could become a very, very difficult position for Rush. But Chameleons do have the advantage, I guess, of the Metal Gear Solid cam, right? Yeah, this is what I was worried about with this cannon angle, is that Rush can just attack from this front up here, and all that money that studios invested in cannons is going to be for naught, as this is out of range. And yeah, look at this, the second base just getting decimated here for studios. I like the idea, and granted, I think studios is a newer player, but I would have loved to see this approach, like taking this as the second base. Because then we would be in that situation where the cannons are both kind of pressuring Rush and defending. But Rush dealing a very crippling blow here. Gonna come in here and break in Studio's kneecaps. Alright, maybe that was a little much. I don't know why, I just had the Mafia on my brain. Rush has got his fedora on. Studios owes him money. Gonna take it from that second base. I wish I had a beer. What's up, QQ? Oh man, do we have beer? Oh, no beer. Wifey is confirmed. I've been known to crack a cold one every now and then with the boys. What beer would it be? I've been drinking a lot of Alaskan Amber lately. I do like amber ales. I think in general I like amber ales and lagers. I do like IPA as well, but I feel like IPA is like too popular. You know, like IPA is great, but there's other kinds of good beers. You know, not every craft brewery needs to make IPAs. Make a good amber. Rush with his billion cams. Move in, come back. The studios is on the precipice of starving out here, unfortunately. And I think this is gonna be game Rush here soon. Let's see. Let's see if studios can make something happen. It'll do a little bit of fast forwarding as Rush is just enjoying the moment, not killing the opponent. Now, studios did have to sell off the cams to try to get something up. Studios was going to try to go for a sneaky attack here, but Rush comes in with the interception. And this should be the tap out. There it is. Okay. Studio's dropping one life here. But, you know, I think that was a good learning experience for studios. I like the idea of the RDs. I think that they just needed to be placed a bit more strategically. So let's see if studios can keep one life into stage 2. The rematch. Up top, Rush. In the right-hand side, we've got studios with the ferrets. Rough map for ferrets, though, with this ledging. Look at this ledging. Oh my gosh, you gotta run all the way around here. Now, if Studios was a bold man, or woman, and takes one of these mills here, could set up a pretty damn good balloon, like right here. They kind of lock Rush in. But this, I mean, look at this ledge. You know, there is no just walking right over. And then if you do try to walk over and you're not careful, your units start coming through here, get all choked up. Yeah, keep in mind too, last game Studios had a bit of a rough start in the early game. Just with the build order between Warrens and Farms, so Would love to see, yeah, 8 farms coming out from Studios. I think that's right. And even though Rush did go for an early Warren, which Rush hasn't, Studios hasn't scouted, I mean, this isn't going to do anything, right? Like, the attack path is just so long and clunky, and there's a cabin, and there's water. I mean, it's just not very good anyway about it. However, Studios does need to build stuff. It's floating quite a bit of food, and this could give Rush the opportunity to come in here. Gonna get the balloon right off the gate. So that will stop Rush's aggression, but a big investment here in the early game. Kind of defends the other base as well. I mean, it gives a lot of vision, which is nice. Yeah, generally though, Studios needs to kind of leapfrog these balloons forward. Being very, very greedy this game is Studios. And I wonder how much that Rush is going to respect this balloon, you know? Maybe Rush kind of over-respects it, and if Studios can power up really hard on some farms, that could kind of warrant the balloon's existence if it prevents Rush from attacking with a superior scroll count. Even going to prevent some scouting here. And so far, Studios does have the eco lead. However, Rush is not going to let that stay for very long. Rush did scout that Studios is working on farming up. Did scout from Studios, though. Did see Rush is farming as well. Generally, you want to try to stay a couple farms ahead of your opponent. I know that sounds obvious, but I guess what I mean by that is if you get too many farms ahead of your opponent, you can't open yourself up to being attacked. So this balloon play is really defensive. And I would love to see Studios really leverage going full 16 farms very, very quickly off it. Oh, does this balloon give high ground? Not quite, damn. Take this campfire, move these balloons up here. That could actually be so funny. And then you put some wire down. Oh my gosh. All the gears are turning in the Delphius brain. Like, imagine if you just wired the hell out of this spot right here. Creeped his balloons forward to get high ground vision, and just started shelling from the low ground. That would be so good. Already coming up, though, for Rush. And Studios is not quite close enough to these balloons. Oh, a couple of Rush's units kind of piling through to find the tiles. And the balloon will scare him away for now, but the clock is ticking with this artillery, and Studios doesn't quite have the high ground vision. Oh, somehow he does. How? Oh man, I should have been. Oh, because it's right there. That's right. He does have high ground vision of that one tile. Did Rush get the cell, or did he actually just lose the cannon? All right, Studios moving back. Rush is moving in, but Studios gotta be careful. One balloon does fall, but he does kind of have multiple balloons set up here. Yeah, if Rush kept attacking in there, that could have been devastating, because all these back balloons. Like, actually, where Studios' units are right now is pretty dang well defended. You know, it's going to be hard to get to these balloons through the water. And yeah, they don't have as good a range as if they're out on the land up here. But they're very, very defendable. Oh, I would love to see 6 ferrets. That would be hilarious. Just get that mass amount of ferrets. What's nice about ferrets, though, is they do kind of scale pretty well, because the random shots, like when you have more more random shots fired, eventually you're gonna land some. Oh, are these balloons not quite? Yeah, these balloons are not quite helping in this engagement. Oh, this one balloon, I really like the style of Studios. It's just not quite well refined. Like if this balloon was just a little bit far forward, it would have been hitting all those reinforcing squirrels. But hey, Studios has a big eco lead. I don't think Rush has been respecting the defendable situation, and look at this. Studios is punching back. He's getting his squirrels up here. He's going to start applying some pressure to the expansion of Rush. And, you know, Rush with the double cam warrens, I mean, those are sitting there not really doing a whole lot right now. One cam is producing. Studios does fall back, but look, Studios is on base number 3 down here. I think he just needs to leapfrog some of these balloons forward. Right? Like, sell these back balloons, start moving them up. I would love to see Studios win this. Okay, Studios pushing in, does have the superior squirrel count. A lot of his squirrels are a little bit hurt. I'm gonna go ahead and kill a pig before the fight starts. Rush gonna come in to try to defend himself, but there are just too many squirrels here. And Studios will slam in. Kills the cams, but not gonna have enough to win the game. Needs to just run away, keep these ferrets alive. But Studios can afford these trades, and Rush can't. I mean, Studios' economy is twice as strong. Was even able to throw in Ferret Warren number 2. Good scouting from Studios. Does see Rush trying to sneak a third. Ooh, just gonna move over here with these ferrets and deny. Needs to be careful though. If Rush actually moves in these units, these ferrets could get caught. That's exactly what Russia would need to get back into this game. But these squirrels will be coming in to defend. And targeting these ferrets, I mean, it is nice, but at the same time, it's the squirrels that are really doing all the DPS in this fight. Studios. Yeah, balloon. Yeah, balloon me. There we go. That's what I wanted. It's like some eyes slowly opening on the balloon monster. It's got like a little mustache there, and there's its mouth. Alright, here we go. The big fight coming in. Got balloons to back them up in a really good spot. Look at this. Studios has made it happen. Started off a little bit slow. Really defensive with the balloon positioning. But eventually started leapfrogging forward. Now Rush is in a checkmate position with these balloons. Studios is going to come in here and seal the deal. Rush never one to surrender though. Will give Studios the satisfaction of shelling down his mill. There it is, GG. Studios making it happen with the balloon ferret comp. And I don't think there's a stage 2 for Studios yet. Okay. So that means we're gonna go into Eel stage 2 next. But I'm gonna take a very, very brief break. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. Alright, where are we at here? We're going into stage 2 with Eel. Set up the scoreboard for this. Alright. And let me check on the wonderful website. How many lives? Oh wait, I think if I just hit stages. Can I see from here? Oh man, that's so good. So good. I guess I'll show y'all. Bam, right here. So we can see Eel has 4 lives on stage 2. Very good. And again, stage 2 is the food floater. So 1,000 food, you tap out, you win the game. You cannot sell anything. Extra large maps. Okay, let's do this. Spawn on the right hand side, we got Eel, and on the left, Goris. You can also get 1 ban on this stage. Goris pretty much always bans owls. And Eel ban toads. I wonder if that means Eel is going to run lizards. He is. No squirrels. Eel's got the moles too. Let's see if he's going to pull a meek. No. Not yet anyways. So the toad ban is nice. It lets Eel be a bit greedy with his unit comps. Doesn't have to take the squirrels. Oh, here we go! Oh man, I'm telling you, I don't know. It's a bold move, Cotton. The mole worm when you can't sell things. But Goris has this building pigs that he can't do anything about. Eel needs to move in right now. Oh, this is gonna be painful. Go, go, go! Kill those farms! Don't lose the commander! The commander! Okay, but now here's the problem. Oh, Eel's just all in with the moles! Can't sell the mole warrens. This is gonna be really hard. Gets another pig. Okay, but Eel really needs to queue farms. That'll at least stop the mole production. Let's see if Goris is gonna do the big brain, farm the moles. Oh, he is! Oh no, this is gonna be bad for Eel. Or is he just gonna kill it? Oh no, don't kill it! Okay, so some okay damage there for Eel. Okay, he's gonna farm the back one, it looks like. That is super painful. What Eel could do would be to, like, try to sneak the moles out and, like, get them home. I mean, Goris knows about... Yeah. Okay, yeah, you just kill him and then leave the thing. Oh, he's gonna get rid of it. Okay. So that was a really fun opening. Let's see how the game stabilizes here. Keep in mind you do want to be careful on how many tier 1 warrens you commit to, since you cannot sell anything. And again, the 1,000 food, we generally see players go for that when they're on 2 bases, but so far no 2 bases allowed. Eel's been keeping the pressure on with the lizards. But Goris is actually pretty far ahead in warrens. Well, I guess not. Eel was floating some food there. Throws down a cam warren. Alright, Goris is just moving up. Not enough lizards here for Eel. Needs to be careful. At least lizards can kind of run away better than most units. Ooh, this might be a little bit spicy. Eel trying to get up to cams means that Goris does have more units on the board right here, right now, and Lizards are not good at defending. Lizards are very commit units, you know, they gotta run up and get on top of the enemies. Couple pigs going down, the cams should... Damn, 3 pigs, that's a lot of damage. Really good timing window from Goris. Did Goris see the tier 2? No, okay. So Goris just kind of shoulder checked the opponent. I think really what happened there was when Eel like ran up with his lizards, Goris kind of smelled the weakness, right? Like, oh, this is all you have? I have more than you, I'm gonna go push. So that might have been the misplay from Eel, right? Like, while he was going up to cams to try to move in with the lizards and then just kind of show Goris that you've got less at the moment. Alright, Goris gonna work on that economy, gonna stay on Squizzard, I think is perfectly fine. Gonna get into the snakes since they did see the cams. And Eel really needs that extra cam. This is kind of tough for Eel because he wants to move in and do something right here, right now, but he really needed that extra cam to get something done. And oh man, look at that. Only one of the farms that went down was a starting pig. So that just went from bad to worse for Eel. Like, ideally, you would have hoped that those were starting pigs. That way, at 5 minutes, they were going to go down anyways. So Eel only on 2 farms, going to try to come in. I think Eel realizes how far behind they are. Just going to have to try something here. This is going to work, and Eel will have to tap. Ha! Gets the mine off, at least. And then there's going to be the tap. Nice quick match there. And there's no shame in losing to Goris. Goris been killing it so far. So let us get into the next one. See if Eel can get to stage 3 without losing another life. Alright, top left hand side, we got Eel, and in the bottom right, Goris, actually with some ferrets. Maybe he had ferrets last game, I just didn't notice because it was really action-y. Really odd spawn for both sides. Can you get up there if you're Eel? You can't. You always gotta look at the little maze on the mini-map. So it looks like, yeah, the only way to get up there for Eel is to go all the way around like this. I was hoping there might be some little way in the back Eel could get up there, but Eel does have a really nice natural. Goris' natural is a bit spread out. And there is a sneaky little backdoor entrance guarded by a cabin into Goris' base. 6 farm squirrel from Eel, gonna force a 7 farm squirrel from Goris. And no harm, no foul. Really in this early game. And yeah, let's see where this one goes. This needs a little bit of time in the oven here to get going. It's so strange how fast Tooth and Tail is, and then even still it's like, oh my gosh, nothing's happening for 20 seconds. So what I'm kind of looking out for is expansion. And Goris right now is going up to 4 tier 1. So gonna apply some pressure. Goris is looking for the expansion here is what's happening. Goris really hopes that Eel is taking a second base. Hasn't actually scouted. I think Goris is needs to figure that out too, where Eel's second base would be. And there it is. But Goris, yeah, okay. Going full aggression. Getting the ferrets on. Good scout from Eel. Doesn't get to see the inner workings of the base, but does confirm Goris has not taken expansion yet. Yeah, I think 1 farm is okay, but more than that is really risky here for Eel. I think he needs some more Blizzard Warrens. Let's see what he decides to go with. Yep. And I'd love to see Eel, yeah, just crank out more and more lizards right now. Hopefully Eel doesn't get thrown off by seeing the tier 2, thinking that they also need tier 2. Because most of the time that's true, but against ferrets, I think you actually would rather just stay on more Squizzard. And yeah, unfortunately, is going to see the tier 2 and say, okay, I need to tech up too, going to get the snakes. And snakes will be fine, but I think the army comp of just mass Squizzard would be Squizzard Ferret. So is going to see the ferrets now, going to lose 2 lizards. Eel needs a really good engagement here. I don't think Eel can mess around against ferrets. You just gotta go in. And this is not looking good. Yeah, Eel investing in the snake, but the snake is a little late. So the snake is 180 food right now. It's not doing anything. On top of that, you've got 2 farms and a mill there, so that's another 180 food. So Goris came into this attack with a 360 food advantage. Knocks out a couple of the warrens, but no farms going down. Losing the snake here. Yeah, this might be it. Too much tempo here from Goris. Losing those warrens is almost worse than losing the farms here. Because you need those warrens to reproduce your tier 1 quickly. Maybe Eel will have a chance to get some value, though. As Goris is targeting down the mill, he's taking a ton of damage on his army. Gets the mill, though. If Eel can kill this ferret on the retreat, it would be nice, but needs to be careful. Eel does feel like he's got tempo, but he's got such few warrens compared to Goris that, you know, if he chased too far, Goris would have a better army waiting at home. Ooh, I love these mines here from Eel. I don't think moving out, it's really risky moving out with the snakes when the opponent's got lizards. Yeah, Eel gonna think twice about it. I think Eel wants to, like, move out with the snakes and kind of dare Goris to chase him, and then into the mines. Goris thinking about expanding here as the 5-minute mark came and went. Nice job from Eel, just checking to see if that expansion's up. Goris, ooh, wants to take it. I have to wait one more second. There we go. Is Eel gonna take a sneaky base? Oh, he is, but Goris is gonna scout it immediately. Yeah, now Eel probably won't do it. Kind of lucky for Eel in a way that Goris did scout that early. Because it would have really stunk if Eel put a bunch of resources there and then the lizards come in and knock it all out. Yeah, I think Eel is stuck kind of deciding what the best path forward is. I think just taking this expansion's fine. You got your mines right here. You got all your warrens here. And Eel is fielding a pretty okay army. Goris does have more tier 1 at the moment, but you know, ferrets are very finicky in fights. They can either land their hits and do fantastic, or they can miss their hits and do nothing. Gonna hemorrhage off some lizards here, though. And Eel's just gonna go for the engagement. I think Goris is too far ahead, though. Yeah, just smashes through this army. Eel should be tapping here. Gonna wait for those mine hits first. Goris struggling to keep an economy together as well, but just such a big army advantage. There it is. Okay, do we have a stage 3 Eel? Oh, we do. Nice. All right. So Eel is in the hot seat now. On 2 lives, actually risking tournament elimination here. Stage 3, is that Kalaru? I believe it is. Yes. Okay, so stage 3. Kind of a lot going on, but the best way to think about it is that there was like this mini game that happened before this the season started, and based on those results, Kalaru has a certain amount of lots he can ban, and Eel has so many lots as well. And this is a 3 and 5 scenario, so Eel can ban 3, and Claru gets to ban all 5. Very rough. So Eel cannot use any of these units, and Eel banned A, B, and E for Kalaru. So Kalaru can use C and D units here, and that's it. So yeah, basically this stage is just going to be very, very restricted decks. So we're going to see some really weird compositions coming in. And let's do it. Okay, what do we got here? Up top, Kalaru. Tier 2 heavy deck with some ferrets. And over on the right-hand side, we've got Eel. Rocking an old school deck. The old school Badger style. I like this from Eel. I think he put together a solid comp. You know, this squirrel, pigeon, skunk into Badger is a very 2018 style of play. Generally, like the squirrel, pigeon, skunk is your early game. We used to see that with like moles as well. Then you got the Badger there in the late game. Claru does have the snakes though. And this is a decent map spawn for poking for Kalaru. With the ferrets. Doesn't have any defenses outside the mines. So this map is actually really cool to me. It's basically just this alley of death that we're gonna have right here. This is pretty much a symmetrical map. Like, look at this. This is actually really cool. I don't know why I've been so excited. I always love to see like really interesting stuff that the RNG can do. You know, both players kind of have this third base that's pretty far away from the action, and then yeah, then you've just got this this avenue of destruction that's gonna be up here. You'll coming in with some squirrels. Gonna kill a mine. Nicely done. Claru shouldn't mine too much though. Haha. All right, second base coming out for Eel. So this might be a pretty straightforward game. I'm really excited how both players want to approach this. I'm really curious what Claru's going to do. Claru's got this kind of Swiss Army knife deck of tier 2 units. Can really take this in any direction that they want. Just going to come in with a lot of squirrels at the moment, though, with this mill helping to tank a bit. Eel should be okay, and the defender's advantage. So yeah, Claru trying something there. Doesn't quite work out. Actually, a pretty favorable trade for Eel. Claru's still in one base, though. Just 4 tier 1. And Eel's starting to pull ahead. Yeah, Claru needs to expand. Needs to maybe go into some skunks. Actually going to go for the ferret. Okay. Yeah, I just wish Claru had, like, a defense that synergized with ferrets. I mean, mines can be good. Mines would actually be really good here if you could sneak them out. The problem is going to be placing them without Eel noticing. So you can get some mines like right here where Hopper was just walking. I mean, that would be huge. Alright, Kalaru trying to be a little more fancy with the ferrets here. Meanwhile, Eel is just going for a very, very tried and true approach here. Lots of squirrels, some skunks to back it up, some pigeons just to help a little bit of sustain. Also doing a good job ecoing up, and yeah, these are the mines I was talking about. But again, I mean, when Eel knows about them, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. But this, yeah, I love the ferret. I mean, I hope Eel or Kalaru can get something done with it. But the ferret's in a very easy spot to poke the second base of Eel and also stay pretty safe. Gonna bring this skunk up here to try to dance with the ferrets, but if you target fire, you can just ignore it. However, taking a lot of damage from ignoring it is Kalaru here. Eel gonna move forward, gonna eat a mine, gonna kill one of the ferrets though. And Eel crushing in. These pigeons actually doing a great job helping these squirrels tank on the front line. Gonna have to go home now, but hey, killed both ferrets and killed a pig. Gonna be pretty happy with that trade. Pretty happy indeed. More and more squirrels coming in, and I think Eel's just gonna go pedal the metal here, man. Kalaru's in hot water. this rush distance is just so small that it's very, very unforgiving. If you take one wrong engagement, you know, the opponent's right here. I mean, generally in Tooth and Tail, the defender's advantage is quite large, but I mean, when bases are this close, the defender's advantage is almost null and void. However, very good attack there, or defense from Claru. The Skunks did so much work in that engagement. Claru had some really good gas clouds out. And yeah, and then this just annoying ferret poking and prodding in between fights. This is just going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be hard for either player to even really eco up. The snake doing its ferret impression here. Doing a better job than the ferrets. Taking down the building. But, to be fair, Claru was very out of position. However, Eel might have won the war before the battle started by knocking out that second base. As long as Eel trades reasonably efficiently, Kalaru can trade better here, but Eel's got the money. And yeah, I mean, that was a pretty efficient fight for Kalaru, but losing the second base in this position is kind of the nail in the coffin. You know, we're past the 5-minute mark, the main bases are going to fallow out. Eel's got the snakes, Eel's got the skunks. Kalaru's going to need a miracle to come back from here. Eel's trying to dunk on him. Trying to do some esports with the snakes here. Can't quite get the tags though. But yeah, I think Eel just has enough to just smash on in. Still got the Skunks alive. Skunks have so much HP, plus the Pigeon's healing them. Claru does not have the DPS. Even though these Skunks can't hit units, the Squirrels will here soon, and Kalaru will have to tap. And Eel will advance forward. Okay, gets to stage 3 with 2 lives left. Pretty good. Kalaru gonna fight for his life with a snake back here, but it is hopeless. GG. That is gonna be it. Nicely done there by Eel. Gonna best Kalaru. That was the first game, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, no more stages for Eel. Okay, so where are we at? Doing this kind of it screws me up sometimes. Alright, we're on Lego Man. What do we have left? We got Lego Man. Indru's. Okay. Okay. Alright, Lego Man Stage 2. This is gonna be a fun one. Stage 2 is always, it's always great. Let me change this one, and let me check, confirm how many lives Lego Man is walking into this with on my handy dandy score screen here. Lego Man 4 lives. All right. Let's see if Lego Man can stay undefeated against Goris. Goris is a it's the killer stage. What's the word? Gentleman had a good term for it. I'm blanking on it. I almost wanted the death trap stage or something like that. We haven't seen a 1,000 food victory yet today, though. I would love to get one of those in. And this is our last chance, too. This is our last stage 2 of the day. Alright. Let's get into it. Stage number 2, Lego Man vs. Goris. Goris banning the owls, spawning at the bottom. Lego Man up top, he must have banned lizards. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Lego Man banned lizards. I don't know. Let me check. Yeah, that's my best guess. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Lizards were banned. So otherwise, there would be lizards. All right, spawns. Let's see. I guess for Lego Man with the moles. No. It's gonna get 2 pigs. Goris has got to be so sick of this. Everybody thinks they're meek. Oh no, you gotta kill it! Oh, you'll get... No, don't lose the... Oh my gosh. Oh no. The Logo Man. Oh, and the pig's shooting the Warren. Well, actually, the pig shooting the Warren might be a good thing. Logo Man needs to be... Okay, he needs to be in operation save the moles. No, he's gonna go for it again. I think I would have just tried to get these moles out of here. Saving Private Mole. Because he could have tried to wiggle these 3 moles home. I'm telling you, Goris, man, everybody saw Meek do it. That one game. And they want to try. It is very tempting. I mean, how can you blame them? Right? You basically... It's like a dog with the steak on the ground, you know? It's like, how can you blame them for eating it? I mean, somebody tells you, hey, you're going to play a game of Tooth and Tail where the opponent can't sell their farms. I think Lego Man kind of fumbled there a little bit, though. He should have got the 2 kills and got home with some moles. But instead it was only 1 kill. And this might be a very short game, as Goris is saying, man, I am so tired of everybody moling me all the time. Gonna push in. He's gonna try really hard with this micro to get the tempo that he needs to kill these Warrens. So far, very, very strong micro here from Goris. Gets the Warren. That is huge. That is so huge. But gonna go home. That was great for Goris. Very well done. Very well executed. Yeah, gentlemen in the chat. Well, they know you can't sell the farm, and then when they fail, they remember that they can't sell their mole warrant. Yeah. I think it's fun though. I love these tries. This is definitely the most fun stage so far, I think. Goris! Oh my god. Is he just gonna do it on 8 farms? In 6 squirrels? No way. Alright. Alright, Lego's gotta identify this. But even if he does... I think that when you play... Yeah, exactly. This would be my response from Lego too. Like, where's Goris's food? He's gotta have a base somewhere. That's so funny. This stage is just so triggering from, like, everything that you've been taught in Tooth and Tail is wrong. You know? This stage is like that substitute math teacher that, like, skateboards into the class, like, smoking a cigarette, throws a book out the window. We're gonna learn some life lessons today. Oh my gosh. Goris is gonna do it. Yep, that's it. GG. Yeah, I think Lego Man forgot about the 1,000 food. It's like he's like a broken AI, you know? Because Tooth and Tail is such a formulaic, makes it sound simple, but it's very, I always think of it like coding, like if-else. You know, Tooth and Tail is like a bunch of if-else statements. If you see opponent going for 4 tier 1 Warrens, then do this, else do that. And Lego Man was like, his code got bugged. He got stuck in a loop somewhere. It's like, wait a second, there should be something somewhere. He forgot about the 1,000 food. That's so funny. Okay. Where are we at? Alright, Lego Man losing a life. To be expected against Goris. He is a slayer of nerds. And let's see if Lego Man can pull it off in match 2 here. Alright, in the bottom right, we've got Goris. And up top, Lego Man. Again with the moles. Is he gonna try again? This front looks very moleable. This would actually be a pretty good spot if he was gonna do it, because then he could put his mole warren up here, he can knock out these building farms, and then he could rally his moles home pretty safely. Sometimes that's easier said than done, like if your mole warren's back here in an awkward spot, it can be hard to get your moles around and out safely. Logoman hasn't found Goris yet, though. So sad mole noises, I guess. Continuing the hunt for the Goris. Goris has found Logoman actually pretty quickly too. Hasn't really scouted most of the rest of the map yet. Logoman still hasn't found Goris. And luckily for Logoman though, just an 8 farm opening for both sides. Nothing like a 5 farm double. Gonna catch you off guard. Alright, so what are the players going to be cooking up this time? Now, Logoman is an extremely good player. So I think he's got a lot of potential to get out of this one with 3 lives remaining. Gonna go for a fast snake. I actually don't hate it because the map is so large, it's a little bit hard to punish. I generally do like a tier 2 opener if the rush distance is really far away. And he can try to abuse some of this road, I guess. Start poking him with the snakes, heal him up with the pigeons. No mill yet from Logoman, but should be taking one soon, unless he's really going to commit to an attack. But I had just kind of assumed the early snakes are going to be for poking. But no, it looks like Logoman is pulling the trigger here. Gonna move in. And I love the pigeons, but I'm kind of curious if it's a little too early for the pigeons. You know what I mean? Like, would you rather your first 12 units just be squirrels, and then kind of throw on the pigeons to help? Ooh, needs to be careful. There's a lot of road on Goris' side of things as well. Oh, that snake! Snake! Oh my gosh, Logoman, keeping the snake alive, but taking some heavy losses in the process. Oh, Goris' commander goes down, though. However, I don't think Logoman noticed. Needs to get this expansion up. Overall, I think Goris did great there. Didn't kill the snake, which is kind of what he really wanted, but they killed all the ancillary units. Also, very far ahead in eco, so Logoman really needs to get some damage in here. Just to even things out. I mean, Lego really needs like a farm kill or something. Oh, the own snake coming out from Goris, though. Oh, and his snake lives, and the snake's side for Eel Goris. Oh my gosh, yeah. What a play from Goris there. Really, really good defense. And yeah, alright, so Logoman dropping down 2 lives, but gonna advance on. Okay, we do have a Logoman stage 3, so let's hop into that next. Oop, and Claru. Perfect. Okay. Yes. Alright. And Lego, actually same bans as Eel and Claru, so Kalaru gets to ban a ton of stuff. Logoman banned quite a bit as well. Just kind of keep that in mind. It's a lot to explain to go over the stage 3 rules, but just keep in mind that there are a ton of bans happening here, and these players have to make up for it with some really wonky deck compositions. Okay, on the right-hand side, we've got Kalaru, and up top, Logoman. Kalaru, I think, with that same comp that he had in the previous match versus Eel. Logoman, I mean, this looks like a proper deck almost, doesn't it? Is this? I gotta look at the rule book here. Is this legal? Could he make this good of a deck? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I would have liked getting the Badger in there. I mean, I don't know. I guess Badger's kind of tough nowadays with snakes, but Maybe like deciding on 2 tier 2s and throwing the badger in or dropping the balloon or something. Could have been cool. Goris needs to be patched. No, Goris gets the power all season. It's too late. Alright, quick snake from Kalaru. Pretty cool to see. Logo Man should scout this. Gonna know it's a fast tier 2, and I would probably assume snake, right? Maybe cam? Snake or cam? Am I crazy? You wouldn't really go for a fast tier 2 outside of that, I don't think. It's a pretty mirror opening so far. Oh, look at that fast balloon from Lego. I would have loved to see. I'm so picky about balloon placements. I'm starting to realize that. Like, every time somebody places a balloon, I'm like, actually, you should have put it here. But I guess that balloon does have the advantage of the pigs helping to support it. And it should be able to shoot anywhere. I don't think Claru is going to find it. Well, maybe Claru could angle up like this. But you can notice Lego Man's snake is kind of over here covering. So pretty cool maps, pretty cool match so far. This is definitely not meta. So it's always fun to see different things going on. Ooh, the mine! Oh, Claru couldn't quite get the poison. Good job clearing some mines here from Lego. I mean, he's got the pigeons, he's got the snakes, yeah. Oh, beautiful. All those mines from Claru getting no value. And Claru looks like he wants to make something happen. Lego Man leapfrogging that balloon forward. Yeah, that's where I was thinking the balloon should have gone in the first place. So I think Lego just kind of placed the first one a bit more defensively, sells it off, moves it forward. Okay, now behind all this, Kalaru is expanding. Getting into some falcons. That's a tough one. I'm not sure how I feel about the falcons. I think they do burst down the snakes pretty quickly. But, I mean, if you have the falcons and the snakes, you're going to have to decide like which one you're actually microing. You need to be careful with all this snake poison. That is one of the most annoying things about snakes, man. Your commander can just die so fast. Claru going to take a lot of losses here. Not even killing one of the enemy snakes there because the pigeons are helping to heal, but did deny the balloon at least, however. Not really worth, as Lego Man is going to punch back. Start getting some real damage in. Yeah, these falcons are really strong, but they need big numbers. You know, when you've got like 1 or 2 falcons, most of the time, it's not going to be enough. And snakes are actually very tanky as well. So they can tank through most of that falcon DPS, no problem. Lego Man, man. Smell a little bit of blood in the water. And all over Claru. Claru should be tapping now. If not, it's going to be very soon. As Lego Man is just going to go back to his due diligence. He should be moving in for the kill here soon. Now, Claru's second base does have a reasonable amount of farms on it, but just not enough. And man, I tell you what, like it really feels like to me this game came down to Claru's commander getting poisoned down so quickly. But Claru is aware of how that works and took a risk from trying to get in there and target down those snakes. Okay, we've got a few more matches left today, everybody. We got Indruis coming up next. Going to be another Kalaru fights. And Indruis is on 2 lives. Not sure when I'll be back, but I mean, I don't know. I think I'm pretty firmly in the swing of doing these suckers every Sunday, right? It's a nice little pattern. So I would plan, yeah, I'll probably be back next Sunday unless, you know, unless somebody else wants to cast or there aren't enough games or whatever, but I like this this Sunday afternoon broadcasting. Okay, without any further ado, Indruis ban. Oh, okay, so Indruis actually, there's gonna be less bans this game because Indruis chose 2 lots at the beginning and not 3. So Indruis has banned off moles and cams and toads and mines. And Kalaru has banned off lizard, fox, owl, wolf. Have we seen a fox this event yet? I feel like we did see one, but it died really quickly. I vaguely remember that. Okay. Let's get into stage 3. Yeah, it would have been a good one to co-cast Tosh since you don't have any matches in this one. And speaking of fox, there we go. Claru up top, rocking the fox, and in the bottom, Indruis. Kalaru is a fellow fox brother, so I've always kind of been rooting for him. And let's see, Kalaru used to be one of the, when fox was more meta, one of the very, very best at controlling foxes. And yeah, we're gonna have to let this one brew for a little bit here. Indruis, I believe, is a newer player. Claru, an older player, but you know, not terrible, like a little rusty. Kind of comes in for these events and that kind of thing. I think he's got a lot of game sense, a lot of experience, but I don't think he's like super try hard, practicing all the time or anything. Does have 3 bases right here in the top. 2 base for Indruis. Definitely would rather have Kalaru spawn here. Indruis does have this like awkward third over the side. And with the army that Kalaru is going to be fielding this game, you know, having this out in the open like this can be pretty detrimental. You know, lizards, ferrets, fox, I mean, all that kind of stuff really loves undefended base. Now, this double high ground out here is kind of interesting. Maybe Indruis, this could be kind of a double-edged sword for Indruis, you know. If Kalaru gets his units up on this, it's going to be brutal. You generally don't want, like, generally this is not a good thing. When your main is kind of on the low ground around high ground, this is typically very, very bad. So I feel like what Indruis needs to do this game is really, really secure this area. You know, get up to the second base very quickly and make this like your staging ground. Held Indruis even has turrets, so I'd love to see like a turret up here on the front. No sneaky way for Kalaru to wiggle in some lizards either. Can kind of, the best he's got is kind of coming around this way, but it's not too bad. Okay, second base is coming up from both sides. Kalaru just keeping it real with some lizards. Indruis on the back. 4 farm 1 from both sides. Indruis is a little scared, it looks like. Throwing down the turret. And getting into some chameleons. I don't hate the hunkered... like, I see what Indruis is thinking. He's like, well, I'm getting behind on tier 1 by going to tier 2, so in case Kalaru is really just hammering down nothing but tier 1, I have this turret here to help him deal. In the meantime, would love to see him sell that turret. Maybe replace it up here on the high ground. This feels bad to see Hopper die like that. There we go. Perfect turret placement. Now we need to get rid of that back one. Oh, and it's going to be up just in time to fight against these lizards. Beautiful timing. Bit of an anti-timing there for Claru. His units are just going to get slaughtered here. Dang, man. Any turret fans in the chat? That's, that should be a GIF. Just a looping GIF. Yeah, I think Indruis is playing this pretty nicely so far. I really would love to see him just get rid of this back turret, though. That could be an extra farm. Yeah, the cams will help against the lizards, but I think overall I like Kalaru's composition a bit better. The lizards can... I think the skunk versus squirrel is more more one-sided than Lizard versus Cam, right? Like, Cams can do good against Lizard, but not... I don't think it's by a big enough margin like Squirrel-Skunk relationship is, if that makes sense. I think generally Cams really start beating Lizards when you have enough of them. When you have like 4 Cams or so, to where the Lizards can't really get the surface area, because Lizards are really all about surface area. And if they can't find a tile, because all the Cams are kind of guarding each other in like a phalanx position, then the Lizards have much less area to actually attack into. Yeah, Kalaru's just kind of macroing up. I think Kalaru's playing it great so far. Look at this, the boar! Big Daddy Boar coming out for Endruis. Kalaru really needs to scout that, but it's going to be very difficult for Kalaru to scout with all these turrets here. Kalaru even bringing the ferret across. Ah, this is so risky, Kalaru. Maybe that was a miss micro or something. And that ferret gets taken down. Yeah, unfortunate for Kalaru there. Does see the boar warren. That is pretty important. I just love this position from Endruis. And yeah, Falcons will do just fine against the boar. Should be able to get all 6 out, and that should be able to DPS it down pretty quickly. Endruis getting that cam count up really, really high. I don't think it's all going to really line up for this push, though. Yeah, this is kind of rough. Claru really needs the Falcons just to get the high ground vision for these ferrets to be able to shell down these turrets. I do like how he kind of debated Endruis out of position there to kill that mill. But yeah, just trying to attack turrets up the high ground is very difficult, even with ferrets. Well, let's see if Endruis is going to go for it. I think he might just wait for the cams. Not really in any hurry to hit with this boar. A lot of times we see when a boar finishes, or I guess a lot of tier 3 really, you just kind of make it over to your enemy's base very, very quickly. Boar doing some great work on these lizards. But Claru are going to clean up most of this army. The boar are going to go down as well. These tier 2 holding very strong. Falcons also do quite nicely against the cams. Being able to burst down their HP pretty quickly. Also, of course, cams can't attack back to these Falcons. So yeah, look at that. Endruis actually losing a huge fight there. And I don't know if Endruis will be able to come back. I mean, once this Falcon count starts getting high, I mean, it starts just bursting everything down so quick. Yeah, Claru comes back. Yeah, just sell off the ferrets. And yeah, just go for it. I agree. I think this is a Claru victory here. Endruis is going to fight to their last, but this should basically be it. I don't think Endruis is going to be able to muster up enough. And Claru is not the type of player that's going to give you the breathing room to try to do that. Needs to be a little careful. These Falcons, without the land support, actually taking some hits from these squirrels here, but still too much here for Claru. There's the tap. Endruis dropping down to their last life. And in this game, the bans are a little bit different. Endruis is banning Mole Cam, Toad Mine. No, I'm sorry. In game 2, Endruis bans Lizard, Fox, Toad Mine. So done with the lizards. Meanwhile, Claru banning the Cam Mole. Okay. Stage 3, Endruis. Game number 2. Endruis on their last life here. Really needs a win. In the bottom, we got Kalaru going. Badger, Artie. Uh-oh, Endruis Wolf Owl. First Wolf Owl of the tournament? I think this is the first Wolf Owl we've seen. If you guys haven't been following the scene too closely lately, Wolf Owl is kind of the composition to beat. I think I'd argue you generally need Snake with it too. Snake's a pretty important part of it. And without the Snake, you know, what Claru is bringing to the table might be able to do decently. The Badger doesn't really have... Well, I mean, Lizards and Falcons can both do good against the Badger. But Kalaru has his own tools to help deal with that, can always get out his own flock of Falcons. And pretty short rush distance map. And Druis, should be pretty happy if the plan is to power up a little bit into Wolf Owl. That nice 3 bases here, pretty nice and neat. Nearby. And Kalaru's position's not so bad either. 3 nice bases, both players happily up on their own little high grounds. So yeah, pretty even map. Pretty damn even map. I guess the only difference is the cabin over on the side, but we most likely won't see that come into play. Cabins have kind of fallen out of meta. They used to be pretty important when there was a lot more one basing going on. Because just having that cabin to juice up your economy, like after the 5-minute mark when you and your opponent are in a slap fight or something and both players have horrible economies, that can make a big difference. But if the meta is more, you know, kind of gentleman's agreement, you know, get up to 2 bases, get up to a big army, then the campfire means less. So, pretty standard opening from Druis. Gonna get a few warrens into a mill. Meanwhile, Claru gonna open up with the cams. And Druis gonna try to get something done. Claru needs to be really careful. These squirrels need to be in the perfect position, or else they will for sure lose a pig. 1 pig goes down. Nicely done there by Druis. You might as well try it, you know, when you have lizards like that. Claru a bit greedy, and losing a pig this early on, I mean, is definitely brutal. Claru gonna go up to 4 cams and see if he can really abuse the opponent just sticking on Mass Lizard. But needs to be careful. It needs all the cams. Can't be like losing a cam here or there defending these little run-ins. Alright, double cams up front, but needs the squirrel back up. Again, don't really want to lose these cams. Loses 1, should be able to keep the other one alive. Really good trade there for Kalaru. And yeah, if Kalaru can get up to 4 cams, I think he'll be in a really good spot to bully Druis. Kind of keep the squirrels back a little bit to just poke at the pigs. And when the lizards try to engage, you got the cams there. So I think Kalaru can get back into this game, but I do think he needs to try to get some damage on. 6 squirrels is a little bit light though, isn't it? Really like to see 9, but I mean 4 cams. Let's go. Let's make something happen. Kalaru's thinking about it. I think you try. I think this is fine. No, I don't think he should wait though. I think he needs to go right now. I mean, the pigeons would be nice, but the territory is right here. The cams heal very quickly. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Bam. 7 lizards for free. And just kind of rinse and repeat. Doesn't want to let this turret get up. Needs to target that down. I don't think he quite sees it yet. There it goes. Nice micro here on these cams from Claru. Really trying to get as much value as possible. Good engage here. Might drop a cam or 2. Okay, loses 2 cams, but kills 2 pigs. And you know, I think that was good. Well done from Claru. Gonna come home. The ferret is out here, but not super threatening. Yeah, it sells the ferret for falcons. I think that makes more sense. But I think Claru needs to go again. He's going up to a Badger, too. Yeah, I think Kalaru's got the better comp right now. Needs to try to leverage this. Take some good trades, kill Pig, do what he can. Okay, good. Good engagement for the cams here. One cam actually got... it was a hard time for them to find the tiles. Kind of got pushed forward. Falcon's doing some good DPS to the cams in the back as well. But Claru pushing in, and Druis is in hot water. Starting to take a little bit too much damage here. Even if these cams go down now, they've done enough. This pigeon healing is doing great for this chameleon in the front. Oh my gosh, this might be it for Druis on their last life here. Kalaru gonna get a killing blow on a challenger, maybe? The Badger has been bought and paid for, too. So, the next wave is gonna be even more brutal. With the Badger coming in. Well executed here from Kalaru. I think playing with chameleons is a lot of fun. And Kalaru did a good job here. And Druis sadly has to tap out and be eliminated from the tournament. GG Druis. Can we get some F's in chat? It's a dead meme. F in chat is fun though. Okay. Alright, stage 4. Now, this was not a mistake. There is only one replay of this game because Evil Murloc is on their last life. So it's all or nothing here. Going into the Heart Seed round, slow and clean. Another stage that is kind of playing around with some of the basic fundamental mechanics of Tooth and Tail. The burrow. The big thing here is that you're not allowed to burrow. You're also not allowed to play with Swift units, otherwise not being able to burrow would be OP. Because you get lizard flanked and you can't do anything about it. So no lizards, no fox, no wolf, no owl. And I think this is very stylish for Heartseed in particular, because Heartseed is known to play with barbed wire and ferret and balloon. So kind of cool to see the rules for Heartseed stage kind of reflecting Heartseed's playstyle. Press F for the press F meme. Oh man. Okay. Heartseed versus Murloc. Let's get into it. In the top left we have Heartseed, and in the bottom Evil Murloc. Again, the units that you're not allowed to play, like that's already been accounted for, right? Like those units aren't in these players' decks. But here's the thing, you can't burrow. What is Tooth and Tail with no burrowing? Again, I feel like I sound like a broken record, but I really appreciate these stages that just play around with the fundamentals of the game. You can't sell, you can't burrow. I mean, these are incredibly important mechanics. That'd be like if we had a stage where you couldn't independently control a unit. Okay, Heartseed is gonna try the old Molaroni here, but Murloc is reacting. Ooh, I don't know if this is correct though. I like the barbed wire, but the mole's slipping around. He's still he didn't sell the farm. Oh man, ideally these wires would be protecting the Warrens. Murloc with a very, very fast response here. But it wasn't quite the perfect correct one. Oh, this is gonna be such a short... Man, I'm kind of mad to be honest. Like, I was getting so hyped for this stage. To see how burrowing is gonna affect things. And it's not even gonna matter. Heartseed's like, I'm just gonna mull super hard. Now to be fair, Murloc isn't dead. Oh, and Heartseed didn't sell one of the Warrens. Okay, that's a nice pickup for Murloc. Gonna go see how far behind he is. A little bit. You know what? Yeah, Murloc's not dead. Murloc's definitely got punched in the face a couple times, but still around. Okay, so let's see if Murloc can claw their way back into this. Heartseed is not going to let him, though. And Heartseed's also very good at this. He is one of the players that does have the killer instinct. One of the most important skills to develop in Tooth and Tail. Just knowing when you have the advantage and when to push it. Because if you just hold on, then that advantage that you have becomes less and less significant. So very good job from Heartseed here. Very mean from Heartseed. But a good job nonetheless. There's no rules in Love and War. And that is going to be it. Murloc, unfortunately, gonna get eliminated here. F in chat for the F in chat meme for Murloc. And good job by Murloc, though. Love to see new player coming into the event. And hey, making it to stage 4. Not bad at all. Not bad. These, keep in mind what, last season we only had one person make it all the way through. So these are, the gentlemen tournaments are like Dark Souls tournaments. I mean, it is intentionally very, very difficult for the challenger. Yeah, we had Meek win Summer. Or, yeah, Summer. And then we had nobody win Spring, right? So I think in 2021 so far, out of the 3 seasons, we've had one person actually get all the way through. Okay, we have one last series for you all today. And is this a QQ stage? Oh, it is, Poggers. Okay, so this is a damn good one to end it on. Let me fix up the scoreboard real quick, and we'll go over the rules here. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. It's always a pleasure hanging out. All right. Stage 5. Oh, Zen's on one life? Oh, I'm sorry. I need to press this button. Yeah, Zen's on 1 life here. Against QQ. Okay, QQ. It's a 4-player free-for-all with 2 AIs. And it's a specific map, Trouble at Gentle Pond. And you don't necessarily have to kill the other players, you just have to last longer than the other actual players. So if QQ gets eliminated, but some of the AI are still in the game, that's fine. No owls, no balloons. I think those are really good bans, because owls and balloons in multiplayer games can get a little crazy. Okay, yeah, I'm super excited for this one. Let's get into it. Only 1 life left for Zen. It's now or never. Uh-oh. Tooth Tail's really thinking about this one. You can do it. I believe in you. Andy! Andy shots! I need that meme of like the angry dude on the phone. It's like me calling up Andy. Big map. Yeah, maybe. Hey, you know what? We'll give it a second. It's all good. It's all good, brothers and sisters. Have I got the map downloaded? No, I don't. That would be it. Aha. Okay. Break screen. I have to do that in Steam, right? I don't do custom games very often. Like, don't I go to the Steam Workshop? And then I just say, add mod, right? Gentle map. It wasn't Andy's fault, it was my fault. Trouble at Gentle Pond. Okay, so I click this, and then I just say subscribe. Yep. That should do it. Okay. Oh yeah, it happened to Tosh. I just have to... I always have to, like, open Task Manager and restart Windows Explorer. Otherwise, my taskbar's on the bottom. Does that happen to anybody else, or is it just me? Listen to the pimp. I always listen to the pimp, man. Alright. Alright, we should have it. We should have the map now. Hey, alright. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, what? Is it? When did P-Boot make this? Oh, this is beautiful. Look at the huge advance. Now I understand why you don't have to eliminate the CPUs. Jeez, good lord. Alright, this is actually pretty cool. But wait, okay, so there's only this. Oh, I kind of get it. Like, you and the free-for-all opponent are, like, right here, ready to get at each other's throats. But if you leave the opponent alone... And they just start with a Boar Warren. But it's not doing anything, right? It's just kind of like a rock in the way. Is this... Yeah, it's made by P-Boop. He made this map specifically for this event. That's awesome. So these Warrens won't actually do anything, right? They're just kind of tanking. I love the middle mill. I haven't even been looking at what the players are doing. So QQ's coming in here with some lizards. Zen is responding so far so well. And players do start with 3 mills here, already taken, ready to go. It's so advantageous for the computer. But I tell you what, if you find a way to get in here and knock out one of these computers, and then you get all this space, I mean, that's basically game. A little bit of skirmish here in the middle. The middle mill is the key, says Witty Pun. Yeah, that's a good one. I do like that mill. Artillery would be good here too. Yeah, we do see artillery from QQ. I wonder how long it takes before the CPUs start being bastards. I'm failing at my commentary because I'm just looking at how beautiful this map is. The campfire would be really nice to take that and then like put an RD on your opponent's side a little bit closer. Alright, CPU 1 after my heart here. Yes, yes, do it. Do it, CPU 1. This is what we're all about here on ToothandTailTV. If you ever want to bribe Delphius, send me matches of toads running into gristmills. Come on, build more toads. No, not moles. I wonder if the units are predetermined by P-Boop 2 for the CPU. I would say probably not, but I'd imagine you could do that. Yeah, I don't think they are predetermined. Because CPU 1's got toad moles, so that's definitely a random. That's the game saying, hey, I'm going to give you 2 tier 1, but not realizing that squirrel lizard are kind of the mandatory tier 1s. What? There is a boar out. Are these Warrens not for show? Oh my gosh. Where did this boar come from? I mean, it came out of this mill, I guess, but the boar is not even an option for the CPU 1. Do they just start making these boars when they have 180 floating food? Is that how it works? Oh my gosh. You know, all things considered, I don't think that screwed up Zen too bad. Like, he lost the pig, he lost his mill, but he didn't really need that mill anyways. Uh-oh. Now, I've been ignoring... Oh, here's the board for QQ. Oh, I love this map. Kind of weird that the timer starts at, like, 35 minutes or something. Alright, the boar goes down. So you're just gonna get hit by a boar, like, pretty early on from the CPU. I think that the boar is just, it just kind of makes a boar when you get 180 food. Alright, I'm watching CPU's food. Okay, it's not making another boar. So maybe it just makes the first... It might be like a timer thing. Like, I wonder if... I haven't messed around with the editor in Tooth and Tail. Oh, wait. Zen's already dead? So that's game. We're gonna have to watch this one again. But QQ wins, right? He doesn't have to stay in. Oh, it's probably broken? I think the replay's broken. Yeah, game's definitely over. But now I just want to see who's gonna win. All right, we need bets in chat. Whoever's in chat, say green or yellow. Let's have some fun here. Who's gonna win, green or yellow? I'm gonna go team green. Ah, oh, dang it. The replay stopped. Well, yellow, I guess, wins. Alright, that was really cool. Actually, this custom stage is really cool. I kind of want to see it again real quick. Yeah, Tasha was right. Yellow did win. Okay, so hang on. I'm watching green's food. So the balloons don't count. I mean, the balloons in the board warren and the wire obviously were pre-gen as part of the map. It's sad that I like don't even care what the players are doing here. I'm just like fascinated by this CPU setup. So I'm thinking whenever it hits 180 food, the boar is gonna get built. First 180 food, right? Still hasn't hit it. Okay, here's the Chad Toads I got excited about. Or maybe the board just spawns after a certain amount of time. Okay. Yeah, it just spawned. So it spawns after a certain amount of time. I think. Did they pay for the board? Alright, Murloc's saying they did pay for the boar. Jeez, like, this is actually kind of brutal. I mean, look at this attack coming out from the CPU here. If you're trying to get into a knife fight with QQ, then you've got this going on. That's exactly what happened to Sin. Look. Zin's rallying his units over. They kind of, like, do real things. And then he just gets backstabbed by green. Yeah, now I understand the middle mill. I do agree, it's all about the middle mill, because the CPUs are probably too stupid to really go for it. Right? They're probably just going to keep marching their units this way. And how does QQ just took too much damage? He quit. Oh no, QQ, I'm sorry, QQ won, because he lasted longer than Zen. That's hilarious. Alright. Anyways, everybody. That is it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a lot of fun. Keep your eyes peeled on the 2021 Discord. Most likely I'll be doing another episode next weekend, but there might be stuff in between. So, yeah. Take it easy, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy holidays. Hopefully you get some time off of work. If not, I'm sure everybody appreciates you. And, yes, I'll catch you all next time. Take it easy.